Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meditations on the Porch. I call this poem, The Swamp Set the Scene. And before I get started, again, just to put things into context, I lived in Los Angeles during the height of the beginning of the pandemic and the Floyd looting and riots. And I was there. So this is not about listening to the news or, to the radio or reading the newspaper. My wife and I were there. We had a business. We were forced to shut down, and we left. We moved. It was so dangerous. So it was very frustrating to literally walk out my door and see thousands of BLM rioters violently looting and burning businesses, and then listening to the news calling it peaceful protests. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll let the poem speak for itself. Once again, I call this The Swamp Set the Scene. In early 2020, our lives were upended by COVID-19. Immediately following came the riots, the looting, and the burning. Before the 2020 elections, the swamp set the scene. As all this was unfolding, only some of us were learning that this was an elaborate plan perpetrated on us by an evil group, not just one man. Conspiracy theory? I'm not a fan. Please bear with me for a moment if you can. First, gloves and masks, and then complete lockdowns in most states. The next step was the illegal vaccine mandates. Small businesses like mine got decimated, forced to close, and then silenced, while BLM were allowed to promote racism, hate, and violence. Thousands of them taken to the streets without restrictions or mandates. Apparently, the virus can discriminate between love and hate, and the government didn't care. I know because I was there. In Los Angeles, we couldn't go to church, see our families, or go to the beach because of the government's biased overreach. Power and control obtained by instilling fear. Those of you who bought into it did not want to get near the facts, documentations, and the videos that made it clear. All we could hear was the government, social media, and the press all getting together. One big shitstorm we were never going to weather. The lies kept coming about bad police shootings that encouraged more BLM looting, senseless riots, killings, and crime, constant violence all the time. All could have been prevented by honest journalists, but the mainstream media, that kind of reporter, no longer exists. You were allowed to be violent and loud without masks in a crowd, but exercising and praying was too dangerous, they kept saying. Standing in line at Costco was just fine, but voting in person was considered a crime. Many of us thought that was odd, not seeing it at the time, how it enabled voter fraud. Are you getting the picture? I'm very leery. Do you still want to label it a conspiracy theory? I need to get some new ones because the old ones have come true. Real conspiracies happening all around me and you. During the most important elections in history, now we can all see the lies and dishonesty that completely changed the future of this country. Thank you.